Hi guys, hope you've had a great week, whatever you've been up to. I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you this morning how I came to faith and a bit about my journey with God since then. So I grew up, I guess, thinking you either believe in God or you don't believe in God, and that is all there is to it. That it doesn't have any impact on your life, and God's very much off in the distance somewhere. But then at the same time as this, I think as I grew up a little bit and got a bit older, I can definitely remember times where I was just searching for something more, where I just kind of knew that there's got to be more to this. And if there is, like, I want in on that. Like, I can remember trying to read the Bible and trying to pray. And I guess just wondering what else there was. When I was 16, I had gone to meet someone at the back of a church to get a lift home, really. I was not interested in going to the church at all. But then as they were singing their last song and I'm just sort of waiting in the doorway at the back, I just had this amazing experience of the presence of God, really. And I just knew in that moment that this is so real. Like, God isn't this high in the sky God that's way off in the distance, but he is here and he is now, and he's interested and involved in my life, or at least wants to be. And they were singing this song, and the words of this song said, in my heart and my soul I give you control, consume me from the inside out, God. And that was really my prayer, I guess, in that moment. I didn't know anything about God, really, other than what I'd heard in RE at school, but I knew I wanted in. I knew I wanted to start this journey with Jesus and just start. So the next year or so was this really exciting time of discovering who this Jesus was that I'd said yes to, and a really exciting time of God working in my life and the lives of my friends, as some of them became Christians too. And when I look back at that time, the thing that I really remember is the passion and the excitement that we all had. Like, we'd all come from non-church homes and had all discovered Jesus together, really. And we just had this sort of joy and passion in us that we wanted to, change the world and live like sold out, all in lives for God. And do you know what? When I look back over the last 10 years, I think there's definitely times where that hasn't been a part of my life. Times where I've got distracted or lazy, or just times where I've just struggled to connect with God and struggled with faith. And I look at the massive difference between those situations, like, the crazy passion that must have really annoyed some people, and the times of not connected so well. But throughout all of that, the highs and the lows, the one thing that I have absolutely known is the faithfulness of God. In it all, in every situation, he's been completely and wholly faithful. I know that I can rely on him. I know that he's trustworthy. He's not going to let me down or let me go, that I always can come back to him. He's always there. And there's 100 different examples I could share about God's faithfulness in my life, but I just wanted to share with you really quickly something that happened a few years ago. It was the year I was supposed to be leaving uni and getting married just a couple of weeks after that, moving to Worcester, supposed to be starting some sort of job, and then I found out that I had to have an operation, which was supposed to be just 2 weeks before getting married and at the same time as finishing uni. And all of a sudden my perfectly laid out plan sort of started to fall to pieces a little bit, and I was just left with all these questions of what's going to happen. Are we going to be able to get married? And just how's this all going to work out? Where are we going to live? And it was a really stressful time in many ways, but throughout all of that, I just knew that God had it, that he had it under control in some way, and just felt kind of weirdly calm in the storm throughout it all. And as we started to pray and ask God to do something with this mess, he really started to move, and my operation the date got changed. So it was 5 weeks before I was supposed to get married, and I was recovered just in time. And and he found a house for us as a friend of a friend had this house that they needed to rent out from the day that we needed somewhere to live. And then God also was involved in finding us a job, finding me a job, as opportunities started to come about at St Paul's, and I got more involved there. And I just think, wow, like God was involved in every single detail of that. There were so many things, like strings to pull for everything to come together, and he did it all perfectly in the perfect time. So that's my experience of God providing for me in so many different ways. When you're thinking about the faithfulness of God, all it is that he is who he says he is, that you can trust him and rely on him. And the Bible is God's word. It's a book full of God telling us who he is. It's who he says he is. And I guess just times like that in my life really challenged me to take God at his word, to believe him. If he says he loves us, then he loves us. If he says he forgives us, he forgives us. If he says he's going to heal us, he's going to heal us. And to use the experiences we might have had in our past to build our faith for the future, and to encourage us and teach us to trust God more. And I guess that's sort of my reflections and thoughts on the experiences I've had. And I just wanted to use that to encourage you guys too, to maybe to think about how God has shown his faithfulness to you in your life, through your experiences. When are the times that he has shown up for you, where he's not let you down? So have a think, and as you start to think, use those experiences to build your faith and to encourage you that God isn't going to let you down in the future, that he's got you.